Starts right now.
I'm still a pissed off grandma, and I'm not done. No justice, no peace.
Unrest in Uvalde tonight. The school board again facing questions and decisions. What was passed and the opportunity some say was missed. Coming up.
And ducking behind chairs, the shooting at that airport having a ripple effect right here in San Antonio and beyond. We're going to hear from one San Antonio mother coming up.
Plus, the problem with monkeypox. Cases rising quickly, but can the U.S. keep up? That story ahead. But first, Uvalde school district leaders talking up and taking up several issues tonight. None of them involve the future of school district police chief Pete Arredondo.
But the board did decide when the new school year is going to begin. So students start class on September 6th. Students from Robb Elementary are going to attend other campuses.
The board will also voted to move forward on a development plan for an elementary school to replace Robb Elementary. They also passed a resolution to request Governor Greg Abbott call a special session. They want to raise the age requirement to buy an assault-style rifle from 18 to 21.
So those resolutions are taking a back seat, however. You know, families today, they stormed out of the auditorium. The night team's Lee Waldman was there. She joins us now live. Lee, why did they leave?
Well, a woman stood up and started to speak in favor of the school district during that open forum part of that meeting. The first 15 minutes there, one father stood up, he walked out, and then the rest followed. The families of these victims tell me they stand together. Like a chant riding out of battle, the families of Uvalde victims standing united.
As you saw, that we are together. The majority of us are together. And when one of us goes, we all go. We stand together. That is Uvalde strong.
One father only going back inside to grab the photo of his daughter seated on the front row. Brett Cross, Uzziah's guardian and father, as he describes, says they're upset at the lack of accountability and ownership on the part of the school district for mistakes that led to the tragedy on May 24th.
2 months, finally, after I asked and asked and asked, finally said, well, everybody messed up, but we messed up. They couldn't even accept that and say, yo, we messed up.
Belinda Areola, grandma to Amory Jo Garza, repeated over and over again that families were not done calling for responsibility and accountability.
You're behind us or you're against us. There's no halfway in, halfway out. It doesn't work that way. And we're not going to sit here and let you tell us to our face that what they did was right. No.
Donnie Ray has kids who attend Uvalde schools. He isn't satisfied with what he calls the lack of safety changes on the part of the school board. He's also mad more of Uvalde isn't showing up at these meetings.
Look around. I mean, look around. There's supposed to be Uvalde strong. I don't see that many Uvalde residents here. I mean, where are you at, Uvalde?
Now, this meeting coming right after ABC News confirmed that Mandy Gutierrez, the principal at Robb Elementary, has in fact been placed on administrative leave with pay. I asked Brett Cross about this. He says it's a start. The district also announcing tonight another open forum meeting will be happening on August 8th. Live in Uvalde, Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Lee. The district also announced some security improvements tonight. That includes new video camera systems, which are being installed this week. It will also start an audit on its Wi-Fi and communications problems tomorrow. The search for an interim district police chief has started, and the district says its police force will be reorganized. You might remember there was a rush to donate blood after that shooting in Uvalde. 2 months later, we're actually seeing a drop in donations. So bad that the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center says some surgeries are being postponed tonight. Right now, it has a 3-day supply of blood on hand, but less than a day's worth of Type O blood. Type O blood can be used for trauma and cancer patients as well as surgeries. We have information on how to donate right now on KSAT.com.
New on the Nightbeat, San Antonio police investigating a shooting outside of a CBD shop. Police say a man was shot in the leg. Investigators think the person who pulled that trigger is a minor. Police say the two were arguing outside of the shop on General McMullen near San Fernando Street on the city's west side. Witnesses say they heard a popping noise, but they didn't see the actual shooting. And investigators say neither the suspect nor the victim are cooperating. Now to another shooting that impacted flights right here in San Antonio, and investigators say it all started at Dallas Love Field Airport. The chaos leading to a ripple effect right from there. Police say a 37-year-old woman changed clothes in a bathroom before shooting into the ceiling. Police shot her. No one else was hurt. The whole ordeal led to canceled and suspended flights. At this point, earlier today, more than 600 flights from Southwest Airlines alone were canceled in the U.S., and that forced one family to delay their trip until tomorrow.
We're not going to make our flight, our layover flight, so they are moving us to tomorrow morning to bypass all that. But I had paid extra to have the kids so we could all sit together. And they can't. There's nothing they can do for that now.
All right, so let's wish Deborah Petro luck, because she and her family are hoping to go to Philly to see family.
And new tonight on the Nightbeat, storage woes. A lifetime's work stolen. A San Antonio man says thieves broke into his storage unit along with several others at the same facility. He spoke to the Night Team's John Paul Barajas on the condition of anonymity.
I don't know if you want police to come and dust, you don't want to enter the space.
Oh, man. Disbelief. That's how one man says he felt after opening his storage unit to find it ransacked. His collection of iconic Marvel, Star Wars, and Transformers memorabilia stolen. The monetary value, an estimated $30,000. Sentimental value, priceless.
It was a lot of life's work. It's just upsetting. They might be toys for people, man, but I took my time to just collect them.
The victim says management at Life Storage off Tezel Road were slow to notify him. He says they told him the theft might have happened weeks ago, but would not give an exact day for liability reasons. Now he's clearing out what little he has left, along with his sister's unit.
We left some stuff in here, but everything else, if they happen to break in, they're not going to find anything of value.
San Antonio police tell us there were signs of forced entry in his unit. The victim says officers told him they believe the thieves cut through the top of the unit to unlock the door from inside. You can still see shoe prints on the top of the unit. Police have been to the storage facility 4 times since the beginning of June, including 3 times just this month.
Did he say that this was a growing issue in this?
They did. So it makes me wonder if any storage facility is safe. So again, for sure, I'm not trusting anymore that you can see over the top.
When we asked SAPD about storage unit thefts, they told us they had not been made aware of that crime increasing. We also reached out to Life Storage's corporate office by phone and email. They're still waiting to hear back. As for the victim that we spoke to, he's offering up to a $500 reward for anyone with information that'll help police catch the people responsible. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
John Paul, thank you. And now to a story that many of you have opinions on. How about the Alamo City getting its own pro football team? Well, the XFL giving the Alamo City another shot. Economics professor Dr. Steve Nevin says that if this succeeds, it could boost business and also entice more sports fans to spend their money right here at home.
They would have traveled outside of the city to attend any, another football game or any other event and use that money, then that would count towards the impact.
The league is co-owned by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and the hope is the league is financially strong. We're going to have more on San Antonio's new pro football team. That's coming up a little later on in sports.
Camping with KSAT, powered by Davis Law Firm.
And speaking of sports, the Dallas Cowboys kick off their 2022 training camp this week, returning to the cool confines of Southern California. After finishing 12-5 during the regular season last year, expectations are high this year with a fully recovered Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott. Our Greg Simmons joins us in California tonight. I hope you bundled up, Greg. I see you're at the marina, probably a nice cool breeze coming off the shore there.
I would just give anything for a sweater right now. It's just that chilly.
I knew you were going to do something like that.
Sorry about that. Channel Island, This is their Harbor Marina. It's not that far from where the Dallas Cowboys actually train here in Oxnard, California, but it is a very cool place to be tonight. Now, the Cowboys charter arrived at LAX today at about 3:30 San Antonio time. Took about another hour to drive from LAX all the way up to Oxnard, putting in here at their camp headquarters around 4:30. One of the big question marks this season will be the offensive line with both Connor Williams and La'el Collins signing with Miami and Cincinnati respectively. That means a lot falls on the shoulders of 7-time Pro Bowl guard Zach Martin. So what is his message to younger players such as rookie Tyler Smith?
Yeah, just come in and be ready to compete. Those guys did a great job in the spring, learning the playbook, competing, and now it's just about putting it together and showing everyone that they'll be ready to play and contribute on Sunday.
Now, Martin, not the only team member to speak to the media today when they arrived here in Oxnard, California. Have that for you coming up live in sports, live in Southern California. Greg Simmons, KSAT 12 Sports.
You had to throw the shiver in there, didn't you? All right, thank you, Greg. Appreciate it.
Sure.
All right, now coming up, the anticipation is growing. So is the jackpot. How one company is hoping to win big for its employees in San Antonio and beyond. That's still ahead on the Night Beat.
Plus, the response to monkeypox differs around the world and in the United States. What the White House is now considering as the CDC faces challenges in its own response.
Also, new details uncovered in last week's shooting near I-10 in Culebra. Police are saying it's not the first time that the officer faced off with an armed suspect. Also, we'll show you the new picture that we found. It's next on the Night Beat. Welcome back. Now we're learning more about the officer that shot a suspect near Culebra and I-10 last week. This isn't the first time that he went up against an armed suspect. Police are saying that Officer Drew Mathewson also exchanged gunfire with the suspect in February of 2019. The police are saying that someone driving a stolen car shot Mathewson in the chest before the officer returned fire. In July of 2020, Mathewson was honored for his response. That picture right there was then posted on the Safe Officer's Facebook page. Now then, last Thursday, Mathewson exchanged fire with 23-year-old Elijah Clemente Gonzalez. Police say that Gonzalez threatened to shoot his girlfriend and then tried to carjack someone before shooting the officer. Investigators say that Mathewson fired back. Mathewson is on administrative leave because this investigation is still ongoing, which is protocol. As for Gonzalez, he was taken to the hospital after the incident. He faces several charges, including attempted capital murder.
Switching gears now, will we be able to keep up with the monkeypox outbreak? About 2,900 cases reported in the U.S., but the CDC says that's likely an undercount. The CDC also says they only have detailed information about half of the cases reported, and now the White House reportedly looking to hire a monkeypox coordinator. One of the issues is states aren't required to share their monkeypox data with the CDC. The World Health Organization's already declared monkeypox a public health emergency of international concern. The United States has not followed suit with that. While the illness is rarely fatal, it can create painful sores. Haran Tulane remembers telling a nurse exactly what he was experiencing.
I remember clearly that I cried on the phone to her saying that I think I'm going to die because I can't eat, I can't drink, I can't even swallow my own spit.
Tulane eventually recovered. He is in London. Here in San Antonio, Metro Health has confirmed a new case today, bringing the total to 8. Metro Health continues to remind people to avoid skin-to-skin contact in large crowds. Contaminated clothing and bedding can also spread that disease.
Now, a quick update on President Joe Biden and his recovery from COVID-19. The 79-year-old president says that he's feeling better every day. As you remember, he was diagnosed Thursday. Today, his doctor said that his symptoms have almost resolved. He's been taking the antiviral drug Paxlovid. First Lady Jill Biden is staying at the family home in Delaware in the meantime. Now, speaking of COVID, Metro Health has confirmed 904 new cases right here in San Antonio. No new deaths were reported, but more people are in the hospital. Tonight, 344 patients are in the hospital with COVID, and doctors are crediting the vaccine and the booster shots for limiting deaths and serious illness. Tomorrow, the White House is going to host a summit on the next generation of COVID-19 vaccines. Money
seems to be on many people's minds, and their minds on their money. especially as the Mega Millions jackpot continues to rise. Tonight, it's estimated to be at $810 million. 810. If you haven't got your ticket, there's still time before tomorrow's drawing. Raising Cane's, by the way, hoping to hit it big. If they do, each of their crew members will get a piece of the prize. The restaurant bought 50,000 tickets on behalf of the 50,000 Raising Cane crew members. Right now, the jackpot is the 4th largest in the nation.
I think the cash out is like 410 or cash option. Oh, geez.
Yeah.
It's still a lot of money. All right, so get ready for this. This year is going to mark the 10th year of Muertos Fest. It's San Antonio's largest Dia de los Muertos festival. And guess what? KSAT's going to bring you live coverage from Hemisphere this October. The holiday honors loved ones who've passed on with altars, food, and music. And I will be hosting alongside the lovely Alicia Barrera. So mark your calendars because we're going to be there October 29th. And the special is going to air October 30th. Woohoo! And we're hoping that before then we'll get a lot of rain. I can't even remember the last time we got rain. Can you remember?
Well, significant rain.
Yes.
I think that's going to be the deciding point because some people got rain, a couple weeks ago, but
true.
That's right.
Not significant.
That's right. We have had a few pop-up showers and thunder showers out there throughout the last couple of weeks, but significant rainfall has been difficult to find. The last time we received a half an inch of rain in a 24-hour period at the San Antonio International Airport was all the way back on June 28th. So that's been 28 days. The last time we saw an inch of rain in a 24-hour period, 173 days ago, all the way back on February 3rd. I remember that morning we were also reporting on some icy mix in addition to the rain. So that's how long it's been since we've had an inch of rain in 24 hours. We were talking about ice back then. And then more than 2 inches of rain in 24 hours all the way back in October of last year, 286 days ago. And unfortunately, the only kind of rain that we could see over the coming days is a few coastal showers Wednesday through Friday. 1 or 2 of those may try to make a run for that I-35 corridor. The chance for rain is only 10%, and it's certainly not going to be drought-denting rain. Take a look at the state of Texas, pretty quiet except for West Texas where they're getting a few showers. We have got a big hole in the rainfall. You can see all the rain moving up and over Texas. That's that heat high. It's easy to spot on the radar. Areas across the northern tier of the United States are getting plenty of rain, but the rest of us dealing with heat. You can also see where that heat high is from the high temperatures, which stretched all the way from Corpus Christi up to Wichita, Kansas. Highs close to 100 to 104. Today we were at 101 in San Antonio, 3 degrees below that record. Generally highs were anywhere from 100 to 104. Outside right now, it is 89 degrees. It still feels like 92. And in your KSAT 12-hour forecast, we're going to wake up tomorrow. We're going to be near 80 degrees. By noon, we're going to be at 91, mostly sunny skies, cranking up the heat. Another day with a high temperature of 101 degrees. Take a look at your screen. Here's a look at highs across your neighborhood. Generally anywhere from 100 to 103 south of us toward Pleasanton. In the 7-day forecast, much of the same every single day. Keep your fingers crossed for those stray showers Wednesday through Friday, but again, not a great rain chance on hand.
Yeah, 10% is just not enough. Thank you.
All right, last time we saw him, he was shivering.
Yes, he wanted a sweater.
Yeah, let's go to Cowboys camp right now. Well, almost Cowboys camp with our Greg Simmons.
Yeah, they don't really start with the first practice until Wednesday. That's why we're here at the Channel Harbor Marina. In the process, I think I saw the USS Minnow docked right behind me here when we come back. More about what lies ahead for the Dallas Cowboys as they begin this training camp here to get ready to start the 2022 season. At the same time, what did the mayor know about the XFL franchise coming to San Antonio? Coming up.
Do you imagine practicing when it's 110 back home?
No, I'm happy we're in Oxnard at this beautiful 70-degree weather every day, so I'm looking forward to that.
Escaping the Texas heat is a primary reason the Dallas Cowboys are holding training camp in California for the 43rd time overall, 16th in Oxnard, as it's time to go camping with KSAT.
Camping with KSAT, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome live to the Channel Island Harbor Marina here, not far from where the Dallas Cowboys training camp is actually located, to help kick off our coverage over the next 2 weeks here in Southern California. Now, the team charter arrived at LAX today at around 3:30. It took about another hour to drive from LAX up here to Oxnard around 4:30. And two players met with the media today following the 12-5 regular season finish last year. Was Jaron Kearse, the Cowboys starting safety, who signed a 2-year, $10 million contract extension in March. Kearse is coming off his first season as a Cowboy that saw him start a career-high 15 games, scoring 101 tackles and 2 interceptions. And for that reason and more, he feels the sky is the limit for the Dallas D.
You know, we have the right guys in place to go out and do great things. You know, we didn't lose a lot. You know, we brought some key players back. So, you know, it's all about what we go out here and do, and you know, starting from day one, looking to improve on what we did last year, and you know, hit the ground running.
The XFL is coming to San Antonio. That decision made by new owner Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. That will include 3 teams in Texas and Arlington, coached by Bob Stoops. In Houston, by former Cowboys coach Wade Phillips. And here in San Antonio, led by former Steelers wide receiver and Super Bowl champion Hines Ward, who will call the shots as head coach starting play in February of 2023.
I know how competitive Texas is, so I'm going to put it out there right now. Go San Antonio. We will bring home the Texas state title. I want to beat you. Yes, I want all you guys to boo. The other teams, they don't matter. They're just out here. They're just faces, the great players. But at the end of the day, it's all about Texas.
This is not the first time San Antonio has hosted a professional football team, from the Wings to the Gunslingers to the Texans and most recently the Commanders in 2019, before the Alliance of American Football folded. Mayor Ron Nierenberg was asked when did he know the city was in line for an XFL team.
We don't know until we know, and we knew today at 7 p.m. Eastern. But I can tell you that when San Antonio gets on the radar of a league, you know, any league, that we're at the top of the list. And so when we started really talking with the XFL about the arrangements and logistics, I was pretty confident. But, you know, it's not done until it's done. And when they announce it, it's done. So now we can get on with, you know, looking forward to seeing the players' names and getting the gear on and watching some great football come February.
What will the team mascots be? Such is the case, they're telling us it probably won't be until August, and they're telling us right now that The Rock will be heavily involved in that decision. When we come back, the Spurs unveiling more legacy uniforms to help celebrate their 50th anniversary. Coming up. All right, good news. The UTSA Roadrunners are picked to repeat as Conference USA champions. That's after they came in #1 in the preseason media poll. That's because the UTSA Roadrunners garnered 14 of the possible 22 first-place votes, with the University of Alabama Birmingham finished the remaining 8. That's after the Roadrunners rolled up their biggest season in school history by going 12-2 overall, finished as Conference USA champions for the first time. At the same time, Rashad Wisdom was named to the preseason watch list for the Jim Thorpe Award, given out to the best defensive player in college football, and specifically the best defensive back. Here's a look at that media poll. #1 UTSA, followed by UAB, WKU, Florida Atlantic, North Texas, UTEP, Charlotte, Middle Tennessee, Louisiana Tech, Rice, and FIU. To help celebrate the team's 50th anniversary the coming season, the Spurs unveiled another set of uniforms honoring the team's legacy in Texas. It's called a Statement Edition and will feature Texas and SATX secondary logos, and down the sides, modern patterns inspired by the traditional Mexican zarapes and saddle blankets. And coming up tomorrow, it's the State of the Cowboys address with Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, and of course, Mike McCarthy, the head coach, to get us going here for this training camp. Live from California, Greg Simmons, KSAT 12 Sports.
And as always with Jerry, the expectations are very high. Thank you, Greg.
And we'll be right back after this.
That's it for the Night Beat. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, good morning. San Antonio starts at 4:30, and have a great night.